So, welcome everybody to the Hemmings House Daily. And today I've got an old friend of mine, Patrick Sohy from Avant Garde Construction. Patrick, welcome to the Daily today.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. So Patrick, you and I have known each other for a long time now. It feels, anyhow. Tell us a little bit about your story and certainly about the company and all the incredible work you guys have done in this city in the last, well, I think 2 decades. But you'll tell me something else from before.
Yeah, it's just over 15 years. But so I moved here from Montreal in 2002, and I came here to kind of really work in construction for a different petroleum industry than the Irving. So I was here as an outcast, I guess, from that perspective. And I loved the place, and I ended up staying, and I ended up working for a general contractor for about a year and a half before founding Avant Garde Construction with my business partner, Rob Clinch. And it's been 15 years now, last September. So we're going strong. We've done a tremendous amount of projects throughout 3 of the maritime provinces. So we didn't go to Newfoundland yet. Who knows? And so generally we've done St. John, kind of like landmark would be everything that's around the center beam location. It started by the defunct Opera Bistro. And then if you go around the blocks like Opera Bistro, we did Kane Travel Insurance, which became Freak Lunchbox, which we did as well. We did Burks that became Lord Done after. We did Amber Technology that became Uptown St. John. So we've done all of these transformations. And we did the Wellington West Capital that became National Bank after as well. And so just around the block, that's really just one section. We've done Tim Horton on King Street. We've done a tremendous amount of projects all around Uptown, all around the province as well. We've done in St. Andrews, the Algonquin Hotel. That's back in 2012 till 2014. Yeah, I mean, there's just the list is kind of endless now. So it's kind of funny now. It's the circle of life in retail and offices. We're going back to places that we actually renovated ourselves. Usually in retail around the 7-year mark, all the landlords is asking their tenants to refresh. And very often we go there and we demolish what we built.
So isn't that crazy? Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, and be able to get those contracts over and over again. No, listen, for me, I'm looking back at 2002, and let me see. I'm pretty sure that's when we started our company. It was Hit Media back then, if you remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
2002. So you and I pretty much started around the same time, and I don't want to embarrass you. However, before we came on, I found an old video that I produced probably in 2002. And I haven't watched it since, but there's one little clip I want to play. Are you cool with that?
Sure.
And I cannot guarantee that's gonna play back not choppy, but I think it's worth us taking a quick look. So this is called "Life on Your Terms," "Life on Your Own Terms," and it's 2007. Interesting. Okay,
let's remember that one
for a second.
You are a very person here, and not just a number. Or
there's a big difference between making.
Look at that. You showed up my old video.
I know.
We should watch a couple more seconds of this. This is funny. Hold on.
Living and making a life.
Anyway, what I'll do is I'll post that link in our.
So here's a project that we did, the bandstand. We renovated the bandstand for John Irving and Richard Curry back in 2014, I think.
Well, let's keep playing. Maybe there's some more avant-garde things here. I just turned the audio off, but there's a whole bunch of nice photos. I'll fast forward through here. Oh, look at this.
Oh my God!
Is that you again? That's you.
Me again, yeah.
I'm gonna go and take a browse in this place, and I actually want to walk all the way early on. Well, it was early on when I came here the first time, so I realized that there was a city market. And I decided, well, I'm going to go and take a browse in this place. And I actually want to walk all the way out the market and all the way down. It took me a whole 6 minutes maybe. And now if I actually go to the market, I'm trying to avoid if I have an appointment, because if I actually go up the market now, it usually about takes me half an hour to make it through, not stopping anywhere, but just being stopped by all kinds of people in conversation and saying, how is it going? And how was your weekend and whatever. And it's all by merchant and by clients as well. You couldn't believe it, how many people I knew in 2 years.
Is that awesome? It's so
That's
funny.
crazy.
It also shows how our filmmaking skills have gotten better in those years.
That's funny. My acting skill is not improved. It has not improved.
Oh, you're hilarious. So what? Okay, that's neat. So that must have been 2007, because that's where I don't know if it was 2007. Does that make sense?
Yeah, we're getting close. Yeah.
Or if it might have been much before, and I just uploaded it to YouTube. That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, all I have to say is, what do you think has changed in our city since then?
I mean, a lot in some aspect, and some other aspect, not as much. I guess that community-wise, I think the bond is stronger in between people. Obviously, we're living right now like some super incredible times that hopefully we won't live again in our lifetime, and nobody's going to have to live that in the future again. But I think the bond that's being created in the community, even pre-virus, is really neat. I think a lot more people, like I live uptown now, I live on Leinster Street, got all kinds of different people living around us, like from the drummer that lives across the street that's 19 years old to our neighbor that's 60 years old, and they're all great people. I think there's really a good sense of community that's happening around here, and other parts of the city, kind of like the North End and all this. I think that's really great. Lots of good development. I mean, we do have a lot more people that moved in town for good and bad. Some people see it as good, some people see it as bad. I think we need to be careful in developing a good strategy with social housing and people of different walks of life. I think that makes it a much stronger community, instead of having silos of the people have more means and the people have less means, then nobody understand each other, understand the needs and challenges of different sectors of the population. So I think that's really important.
But that's such a good point to make. And I wonder if after we get this virus behind us, I wonder if that sense of community is going to be stronger now. Or, I mean, it could just as easily become, the fear could also keep people even more dispersed. I don't know. What's your prediction?
Yeah.
I would hope it's more of option A.
Yeah, I think it'll be actually a mix of both. I think you'll have different people will take it that I find for ourselves we're going to be closer to people. Some reservation still, because we're living in different times. I mean, I've never gone out with gloves to go grocery shopping.
Right.
That kind of stuff. I've never stood 6 feet away from people unless it was for specific reasons. But
Right.
I think overall we will have a pretty good sense of community coming out of that. Probably thinking more about the elderly people that can't go shopping on their own, or maybe just checking on the neighbor across the street. Asking your neighbor that doesn't own a car, hey, do you need anything at the store? It's just I think that's what we do now, and it's kind of okay, I don't see why I would let go of that kind of philosophy afterwards. Yeah.
That's a really good way of looking at it. And how has this impacted your business, Patrick?
Well, it introduced me to Zoom. I can tell you that. It's Zoom here and Zoom there and Zoom everywhere lately. So it's a lot of conversation internally. We've had now for a solid 2 weeks of conversation internally to find out how we're going to be managing. We do not want to let go of anybody, and that's not our philosophy. We want to keep people, and we understand though that some of our staff could be more worried than others, and some with very good reasons, having sick ones at home with that kind of stuff. But it's impacted quite a bit. We've seen some projects right now kind of like being put on hold, like anything that's medical clinic kind of related activities, is everything shut down. So nobody's going to spend any money towards that for now. It's probably going to be as like, probably 3 months after the wheels start spinning again that we'll see that it's going to come back. But we were very, I'm sorry.
You talking about Clinic One?
Just talking about like kind of like dental clinic, doctor's clinic. We have a few projects like that that's being put on ice right now. Just not stopped, but they're not doing the work right now at this moment in time. So, but we're very fortunate to have a good list of clients. We do have projects. All of our work sites are working. We're very implemented all kinds of new ways of entering the job site, sign in, sign out sheets, distancing themselves as much as they can on the job site, washing station, actually full hand wash station, so that kind of stuff. And quite fortunate that we're impacted, but we're managing through a team. So I mean, everybody works from home. Doesn't change anything for me. I've been working from home for about 2 years now. I'm on the road, so I'm a transient worker. So about we only have 3 at the office right now. Out of the staff was 10. So in the office, it's only 3 are working from the office.
And there's plenty of space for them to keep separated.
Yeah, correct. And then some of it is kind of required when you're thinking about scanning documents for proposals and that kind of stuff. You're talking about 20, 30, 40 pages to scan. It's a lot easier with the infrastructure that we have there. I can't do it from here, so somebody needs to be there to do it for us.
Of course. And one of the things I was thinking about for the construction industry that is continuing, but I wonder about the supply chain and the great resource that we do have in this province with being wood, and the value add being things that companies like JDI do, build 2x4s and wallboard and whatnot. It's kind of cool that we have that in our own province borders. Do you think there's going to be more attention to value add in our province with our own resources moving forward? Because we're really seeing, if a border shuts down, it's the impacts are huge. But we do have the ability to encourage value add here, so industries like yours can continue. We've got Ocean Steel. You've got all the pieces here ish. But I don't know, just something I've been thinking of for our future economy. What's your thoughts on that, about what New Brunswick's future could be in a sustainable fashion?
Well, I mean, our company philosophy has always been now it's called Excellence NB, so for the love of New Brunswick. So we are a promoter of that. We have that on every single one of our vehicles. We want to buy local. So we always try to source anything local. Obviously, some projects are designed from the exterior. It comes from Toronto, it comes from the States and that kind of stuff. But anything that we can buy local, subcontractor, we use local subcontractors. So if you have a project in New Brunswick, it's local New Brunswick, can't find it here. Local Maritime, can't find it here, local Canada, and then after we go outside. So that's really important. So looking at the New Brunswick economy, right now, we can produce anything here. We have the people, we have the technology, and the willpower, I would put it. That's really the important thing. I think that's key for us right now, to kind of look at what's missing in our supply chain. And I know there's a tremendous amount of people that are really smart at looking at that right now, and really making sure that the sustainability of that chain is going to be there. The same as for us, when a very small company, we're looking at what's our business continuity, what's our plan post-pandemic, right? Because we're going to need to start those wheels as quickly as we can.
Amen. Well, Patrick, it's always a pleasure to bump into you. Usually it's in more social environments or happiness or something
usually
like
that. Usually I get a hug from you. I didn't get my hug today.
We'll do the air hug.
Virtual hug. Yeah, that's it. Done.
Anyway, I'm really pleased to be able to speak to you. This is just a thing I started last week, just to connect with our customers and our friends to see how they're doing and to promote them. What's the best way for the world to connect in and figure out how to get hold of you and see what you guys are doing?
Yeah, the easiest way, agcm.ca. We're on Instagram as well. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on LinkedIn. We're little bit everywhere. Like we're doing a lot of social media stuff lately. So yeah, agcm.ca, you'll find us there. We have linked to all of our social medias, and we have projects and all the contact information. We're all there.
Fantastic. Patrick, thank you so much, my friend. You
Well,
take care of
you're
yourself.
welcome.
I'm looking forward to a real hug and a real beer when this is all over.
Sounds good. Perfect. Have a good
All
one.
right. See you,
Take care.
Patrick.
Bye-bye.